Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. Ladies and gentlemen, your soon-to-be next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, running mate to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Please, I cannot hear the applause loud enough. Let me hear it for her loud enough. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You may now take your seats. Thank you so much. I come back to you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to invite you to rise as we welcome the next President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. A round of applause for His Excellency. One love. Please, you may take your seats now. Indeed, one love, and let's do this together. Possible together. We must rescue this nation, and the two people to lead us all are currently seated.
This is how far we've come. The road has been long, mixed with joy, sorrow, friendship, pain, triumph. But in all this, we've created a family, and family we will never forget.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, indeed, we belong to a proud tradition with a rich history, made richer by the contributions of all and more that this video could not capture. If you agree with me, I'll invite you for us to observe a minute's silence for the fallen heroes and heroines in the struggle to build this beautiful tradition. And right after that, we will also give a shout out and applause to those who continue to make this dream of a party that is all embracing and development oriented, still striving and serving this country. So shall we rise for a minute's silence for the fallen heroes and heroines? May the souls of all the loved departed ones rest in perfect peace. And a round of applause to you, those who are still here and keeping the flames burning, and to the budding ones who continue to hold high the flag of the great NDC. Please, you may have your seats. With delight and with pleasure, I welcome you all gathered in here, and the millions across the country who are watching us on TV, online, and also listening to us on radio, to this epoch-making event to outdoor the NDC's election 2020 running mate. May I, at this point, also thank the millions of members and supporters and sympathizers who are joining us across the country, but for COVID, would have loved to be with us in this. On this note, I will wish to, on behalf of the flag bearer, on behalf of the chairman and secretary of the party, apologize to the millions of our members and supporters and sympathizers who would have relished an opportunity to be with us here this evening as we adore the running mate to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, poised to rescue this country and capture power for the great NDC. At this point, with the opportunity to be here, it is important that we invite the Almighty Allah to be in our midst to steer the affairs of this program. And so I would like to invite for a Christian prayer and a Muslim prayer. The Christian prayer will be said first. It will be immediately followed by a Muslim prayer. And so I'd like to invite Reverend Ekua Ofori-Boateng from the Holy Trinity Cathedral, Accra. She is an engineer as well. A round of applause for her, please.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let us bow our heads and pray. Almighty and eternal God, you have revealed your glory to all nations. You are the God of power and might, wisdom and justice, and through you all authority is rightly administered. All laws are enacted and judgment is decreed. Let the light of your divine wisdom direct the deliberations of this Congress, and especially the service of your handmaid, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. Assist her with your spirit of counsel and fortitude. Make her work to be conducted in righteousness and to be eminently useful to all Ghanaians. And may she encourage due respect for virtue and religion amongst all of us. Through your mercy and your grace, may she and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama execute this campaign within all the laws of this country, and may they be enabled by your powerful protection to discharge their duties with honesty and ability. Shine forth, Father, in all the proceedings of this evening and the upcoming campaign, may this party seek to preserve peace, promote liberty, and ensure equality for all Ghanaians. And for all of us, may we be preserved in the peace which the world cannot give. We ask this through Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord, who is alive and reigns with you in unity with the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Engineer Kweo Furibuateng from the Holy Trinity Cathedral. We now invite Sheikh Imam Abdullah Shaibu, who is the Medina Municipal Chief Imam, to also give us a Muslim prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Inyanu mepapayara medibako akan nimu onubi kakra amame. Inyanu mo amse yenjina yamfa yambutai mfama nyankufoma obosoro na asase obi yenjina ho yamfa butai mfama nyankufom yensuni yambanga yede kra amanono wanjiso mayan Eurade yebe hiyawa ha dengte omampehini deda wade na bechire nyewodi nechi abachireyen Professor Nana Opoku Ajuman, Professor Nana Opoku Ajuman. Enyanomo onyanko bomtieyen. Obai Ghana funimno, ewiase ne nyina nimno. Wo enimidie kese. Oni omampehini dada ya begina hai. Yede wo mienu aba beshe wonsamu wo begwa won anajo eyadru esumu wo mu dawo eni ejumade a won beye ama oman agana onyankopon hira won ma won ha onimpa wọ́n de beri juma efse onyankopon woni Adam ne nyame woni Noah ne nyame Moses ne nyame David ne nyame Jesus Christ ne nyame tum ne nyina hye wonsam wa na wodema enti yede wo ma hye wonsam a wodi agbosoro ne asase ene agodi biara shira won jama muslimi sayiwa munan mai gida wanda ya zauna kujeran Ghana a farko shine John Dramani E.A. Mahama. Na san babansa sosai. Ubangiji Allah da shi da Nana, Professor Nana, ka ba su nasara. Ku ce amin. Ka ba su nasara. Ka ba su nasara. In Yanumu Quran, Okita chapter 114. Na mpitiasu number 1 ani yede srade ani bom bayimbo ni bribia onia na mede ko yi a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Imam Abdullah Shaibu. For the few who do not know, after a prayer like this, when I say Atakbir, you should respond Allahu Akbar, which means Allah is great. Atakbir. Our party indeed has a rich history. Not only that, it also has a very beautiful anthem. Shall we rise for the party anthem now, please? Please, a round of applause and you may take your seats.
I welcome the opportunity to congratulate Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman on her nomination as running mate for His Excellency John Mahama. It's an honor that is well-deserved and well-merited. With her achievements, her international stature, and all that she has, she could have chosen to be with her grandchildren, with her children, and enjoy this stage of her life. But because she's committed, she's put herself in the public domain. I want us to learn from this and to encourage other women as they get opportunities to pick them and show the way.
My first encounter with her was sometime between October and December of 2010. I took office at the National Council for Tertiary Education, NCT, in October 2010. And by virtue of that position, I became a member of the Council of the University of Cape Coast when she was the Vice Chancellor then. You will see at meetings that she was somebody who was a good listener, not overly defensive of her stand, because at council meetings, she listened very well to anything that council was suggesting, and if it was something not acceptable, the way she defended it was very good, in the sense that it did show respect, and she tried to show the reason behind her decision. One other thing I think worth mentioning is that she's one that I can say values relations. When she builds them, I would say, as far as I know, she tries to keep them. The final thing I would want to say about her, which was a pleasant surprise to me, is that I come from a village right at the border of Ghana on top, Golu. I was surprised when she told me that she's a daughter of Golu. I said, what do you mean by that? And I did check. Long before she became a minister and vice chancellor, she used to go all that way with people, students, on, I understand about tourism. She did work there, and the wall that we have around the village, she was interested in it as one that has a great tourism potential. Another aspect was her compassion or passion for women's empowerment. She was working with the chief and trying to get the women together to have a shea nut processing factory, which I understand they had done quite a lot and even acquired some equipment. For me, when I heard that she was nominated as a vice presidential candidate, I thought that was a very good choice indeed. She brings a lot to the ticket, and if I have to describe her in a few words, I would say one that is compassionate. I have experienced it. She values her relations with people. That's one. She's a consensus builder. This is also another. And finally, her love for women's empowerment, demonstrated by what she has done in my village, and I would also say the rural folk, typified by my village. Just look at the distance from Cape Coast to Golu, and you will understand what I mean. This is something that you would want everybody in that position to have. I've experienced all these things personally with her, and I think that she's a good choice, excellent choice indeed.
I welcome the opportunity to congratulate Professor.
All right, so indeed, it's an excellent choice, and we are here to adore and celebrate that choice. I have the pleasure now to invite the administrator of the NDC, the secretary, the general secretary of the great NDC, the only general in Ghana's politics, General Mosquito.
Good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to our compatriots in Ghana, or whatever it may be, to the millions of viewers across the world. We are gathered here at the auditorium of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, Ghana, for the purpose of adoring the vice presidential candidate of our great National Democratic Congress Party. This event marks a very significant milestone in our journey towards rescuing our nation from maladministration. Even as this event takes place, there is another very important exercise that is ongoing in the country, and that is the registration of voters to participate in the December elections. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the rank and file of our great party for the vigilance and enthusiasm they have shown so far in the conduct of the exercise. Particularly, we are most grateful to our IT directorates and the election directorates for vigilantly assisting us to detect fraudulent activities that had been perpetrated in the conduct of the exercise. Let me thank the youth of Ghana who have risen to the occasion and have shown determination to make a change in their governance and their circumstances. Indeed, most of the work of monitoring the exercise has been with the collective effort of our compatriots in the nooks and crannies of the country, be they NDC or not, to ensure that the right things are done and our right for self-determination is not compromised. Let me take this opportunity to also thank members and personnel of the security services for the work so far done. Those who have shown sufficient nationalism and professionalism in helping to keep vigilantism at bay. Let me also advise a few of the errant security personnel who on some occasions have chosen to be partisan. I like to remind them that anytime there is any temptation for them to obey unlawful instructions, they should remove their berets, look at the crown on it, and remind themselves that their duty is to serve the nation Ghana and not any political party. Finally, I have heard it being said that what magic is Nana bringing to the table, or what new is President Mahama bringing to the table? My answer has been very simple, that the magic is with you, the rank and file of the National Democratic Congress, and the magic is in the youth of Ghana who are dissatisfied and disillusioned with what is happening. And the magic is simply unity. If we are united and determined to make a change in our circumstances, it shall be. But we cannot win election with a divided front. So I'd like to urge everybody who wants to see a change to let us close our ranks. As an organization, decisions may be taken anyway, and it is not possible for decisions to be taken that satisfies everybody. What is important is that the decisions must satisfy the greatest number of our party members. And so after a decision has been taken, our duty is to close our ranks, rally around our leadership, and make sure that the mission of rescuing Ghana is accomplished. This is the time for party members to collectively take ownership of the future John Mahama government. If we all sit aside and expect that President Mahama and Jane would have some magic to perform to bring us to power, eventually when the power comes, the government is going to be John Mahama and Jane's government. But if we get our loins and put our shoulders to the wheel, whether we are identified for praise or not, and we do the little bit we can in our various corners, the government that will emerge will truly be an NDC government. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Yes, that's a macho mosquito right there. Another round of applause for the general making the rallying call to the troops to collectively put their shoulders behind the wheel and make it possible together in rescuing this country from the hands of people who simply have no clue as to how to take us to a better place as a people. Once again, on behalf of the flag bearer, on behalf of the national chairman and the general secretary, I wish to send our sincere apologies to the thousands and millions of our members out there who would have loved to be part of today's event, especially at the UPSA Africa. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, we have had to inconvenience ourselves by reducing the numbers to hold this event. We apologize to you all for not having the opportunity to be here with us, but we are grateful that you are monitoring across the world on various television networks, on radio stations, and also online. It's my pleasure now to invite the national chairman. He's a preacher as well. Honorable Ampofo, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, to the podium to also address us this evening. A round of applause for our chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, the leader, flag bearer, and the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the next vice president of the Republic of Ghana, and our soon-to-be adored running mate, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, the vice chairman of the Council of Elders of our party, general secretary of our party, Right Honorable Dua Jaho, former Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Haruna Drisu, Minority Leader, and honorable members of Parliament here present, Professor Joshua Labi, National Campaign Manager, NEC and FEC members, Regional Chairman here present, distinguished members of the clergy, Nananom, our friends from the media, fellow Akatamansonians. Today is a very special day in the life of our country and our party, the NDC. Today, the leader and flag bearer of our great National Democratic Congress is, together with the party, adoring the person who shall partner him as we enter the critical curve in the campaign to unseat the underperforming Akufo-Addo government in the general election scheduled to take place in December this year. In other words, we are about to adore the next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, God willing, when we win the 2020 election. This has been long in coming, but in the collective view of the able leadership of the NDC, this is the appropriate time to carry out this exercise, coming, as it were, after the MPP, our closest rivals, have announced their flag bearer and running mate last month. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here today as a result of a carefully crafted steps that started in the internal election to various party positions in the year 2018. The election of a flag bearer in the early last year 2019, and the selection of most of our parliamentary candidates in the upcoming elections. The selection of a running mate completes the whole process, and it is therefore the icing on the cake in getting our human resource battle ready for the 2020 elections. In coming to the choice of a running mate, I can tell you in my capacity as national chairman that it has been a difficult but pleasant task. For in the NDC, there are very many bright stars suitable and qualified to be chosen to the position of running mate. Unfortunately, however, the 1992 Constitution permits the flag bearer to select only one person to partner him or her in the presidential elections. It is in exercise of this mandate that the mantle of choice has fallen on our own illustrious Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman. And what a choice that the incoming president of Ghana has made. The National Democratic Congress is indeed extremely proud of its core social democratic credentials, in which the power of state is used to create equal and favorable opportunities for all without any discrimination whatsoever. When the NDC says all, the NDC means all. This is because in the politics and credo of the NDC, all Ghanaians are equal. This has been amply demonstrated in our short history since 1992. It is the NDC as a political party that for the first time appointed a speaker for Ghana's parliament as a woman. We are extremely proud of the legacy of Right Honorable Mrs. Joyce Bamford-Addo, who served as the first female speaker of Ghana Parliament, the third highest office in Ghana from 2009 to 2013. We wish her a well-deserved rest and God's bountiful blessings in her retirement. The NDC is also on record to have appointed the first woman as the chairperson of the Council of State in the person of Honorable Cecilia Johnson. Again, it is the NDC as a party with the capacity to win elections that has set a new record in selecting a woman who will occupy the second highest position in the political administration of this country under the 1992 Constitution, on NDC winning the 2020 election. And that choice, the incoming president of Ghana has made. In the NDC, we never stop setting the pace for inclusiveness and gender mainstreaming. In the NDC, inclusiveness is our strongest identity, and we have no apologies for that. All of us have mothers. All of us are keenly aware of the wonderful life-saving contributions of the uncountable women of worth and purpose in this country. We adore and honor our women, not in the form of mere tokenism, as others see it, but because in the NDC, we know that men and women do not only complement each other, but that given the opportunity, women can do as much as men in achieving progress for this country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is the light of this that, according to Article 43 of our party constitution, the revered Council of Elders and the National Executive Committee overwhelmingly endorse the selection of the woman that our politically astute flag bearer has chosen to enter the seat of government with, to execute the life-transforming agenda of the National Democratic Congress, the rescue mission. Indeed, Ghana deserves better. Who is this woman? Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman comes with her own sterling accomplishments. And in the several years that she has been in public service, many of our countrymen and women can attest to her efficiency, her effectiveness, her broad and deep knowledge of the affairs of society, her total command of a language that inspires, a language that binds, a language that assures and reassures, and a language that uplifts us to achieve beyond the ordinary and the mundane. In addition, she is a woman of integrity. And one that I can state without fear of any contradiction, that she is totally worthy of the role that our eminent flag bearer and the party have assigned to her. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this event would have been patronized by our teeming supporters, such that the very foundation of this country would have been shaken. But because of the restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic, we are compelled to outdoor our vice presidential candidate in this manner. I'm, however, fortified in the belief that the elaborate arrangement put in by the party and the organizers of this evening event would afford a considerable number of our compatriots to appreciate who, in our collective wisdom, very much qualified to occupy the high office of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. The NDC party is optimistic that the John and Jane ticket is a winning pair of hands, the safest pair of hands that we can entrust the future of this country to. The rescue mission continues, and we shall not waver until victory becomes ours. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think our national chairman deserves a better round of applause. Thank you so much, Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, for those assurances to the nation. The rescue mission is on, and like someone put it, getting the current government out of power is communal labor, and all must get involved to rescue this nation. Well, like Chairman indicated, we've had to hold this event in the manner that we are doing because of COVID regulations, even though we would have loved to give opportunity to the teaming members and supporters to be part of this event. But whether by air, by land, or by sea, the NDC is ready for December 2020 elections. And so our members in the various regions are joining us via Zoom. And so we will do a short roll call, starting with Greater Accra region. Are you here? Greater Accra region, are you here? Can you wave? Greater Accra, can you wave? And we would like you to also wave back when they show them It's Greater Accra here. We have Eastern Region also joining us. Eastern Region is also joining us via Zoom. Eastern Region, if you can hear us, can you wave? Give us a wave and a shout. We also have Central Region. We have Western Region. We have Western North Region. Yes, that's right. That's right. We have the Ashanti region also joining us. We have all the 16 regions actually are hooked on and joining us via Zoom. So let's take it from the base headquarters. Let's take it from the base headquarters quickly with the sound on. That's right, so you can see there that the various regions are monitoring and also following us, and that is a testimony of the fact that, but for COVID, I'm sure Accra wouldn't have been enough to contain the teaming members and supporters of the NDC, because they all relish the opportunity to be part of this epoch-making event. So roll on to take some more attestations from people who have worked closely with the running mate and soon to be Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. We'll take some more attestations as we acknowledge the various regions joining us via Zoom. Thank you very much.
Ofaime acho miselina na ye mole ana Angela running mate anywhere ehin akehye wo le as running mate e ba anye twu ahun e ba anye twu yo nupa hun ni we ba anye twu je moko kekeshi moko nu le wolomi fa acho mi hana kokotete njago no hia jo na ewu e problem be ye fine no fe no nu ni fi no fe no nu fi sha finale we hye ye ano no for be any be fair no twon ye ntu why is good that she wo you atwa me Christian atwa agete wo sumo wo ye fe wo sumo ake you anya ba kwa wo no ko ni wona chake ma ga wo Ghana ne yin so ji me ni ba your president no wona chake mu e wa fi ne won to ni yo hu aba e wo ke from mama ewu eku e ne ba ye va say ye fe anya nyi ese ne nya fe no ko kan awo ayega you ale musu shanle ye bi e wo Ewele wona agba ka woni to omoni Mpacho mi den de ogesi na afole emkrofo na afre me brodo hot mi ton brodo eno na e medwuma no kreni me de manage efi se de ntia manage ni se ya ye ka se ade obema betimi aye no oba so betimi aye ana sebi ema na ya aye wo nimdie bebre fa ne ema bi hu a yen se ntina ya se obema nya no ho kafo se yen ye nim enye yie ye mimi nya agba na ko oba na edi omenyi so if se nima bebre wo ho no be matimi eye hu susuye na so no timi nyina so pi anya de kodi nti to mi ni de mi de nyame ase se ya fa oba bibie no ya mfom so wo ho so wa fa oba eye mani je pa mi wo vim se na wa fa no no on fa no be se afa bi on san fa ma za mbla. To me it's a fair though when it comes to the democracy we are practicing in Ghana here, giving the women chance, a whole lot of women chances in a government body. To me, is in the best position. Feed ya the papa. Bibiala besia die nimbia no ade na edimu. Na megidi de besia no awabe. Yakopa ye na Mahama adom na fi owini a nioma bekoyi am besia fo Ghana ha nyina. Nti na ma megini tumi no. Nti Mahama wa ya de.
Sunana Hajar Diko Usman, founder of Young Women Leaders Network. Choice in the JMA, the Munji Dadi Soda, Sumba Yoba Muna Nema Mata Ashugaba. Kuma ya choose as running mates nga. Muna gan kama komi ya, whatever is going to happen, she's going to include women in decision making and kom ya bari nation mu ci gaba. Ta aikin nan because previous aikin da ta yi duka as a minister ta yi kokari and mun yada kaman she's very competent because other running mates mazan nan ba mu gani wani kokarin da suka yi as running mates ba amma ita da tuna ta zama nan mace kuma tana ta duba yaran ta tun kanana suka yi girma mun san ta yi aikin nan kuma ta help Ghana eje gaba.
Amaran kun ko nyanya tawa ete totwe ya jiramele aha ga ka fifiela enye nyonu hode bene banye JMO vice president ra afifi na nyento ajaba le be nyonu ocho no no do fede bene nyonu ho o le do fei wa ton pare mi nyonu oche alo ya nyanya nyo nu poponu ta nyere de yala menlo pepepe be nyonu nenye JM o running mates nyonu aton wado ajebele mo ho nya professor ata anya be nyonu oche miafo nuko nuko le gbegbele le nyonu la ho vala atomba na nyonu oche la mia yingo.
All right, so we have heard also from the streets the expectations, and I think Her Excellency's job is cut out for her, and we wish her the very best of luck. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to hear from the man who has stayed true to his character. Never, he never shakes. He remains who he has been since he joined politics, regardless of the mudslinging and the difficult terrain. And when it comes to what we are celebrating today, it is still in his character. He brought into politics one of Ghana's most celebrated human rights activists, Nana Oyelita, brought into politics one of Ghana's celebrated lawyers who helped Ghana, even in opposition, to win a border dispute between Ghana and Ivory Coast when we were at ITROS. And I'm talking about the former Attorney General, Marietta Brew, and also many other women. So it's true to his character. It is now my pleasure to invite the man who is leading the rescue mission, the man who has a track record, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, the next president of the Republic of Ghana. Please, His Excellency, if you could just wait. We have an appellation coming. We have an appellation coming.
Visionary. Over the period of his political career, John Mahama has demonstrated his intuitive ability to plan with the future in mind. He is a generational thinker and a positive-minded policymaker. Peaceful and tolerant, John Mahama's character has always been known as one of self-control, of a peaceful nature, and has truly walked in the footsteps of the late John Evans Atta Mills. His ability to calm waters, keep relationships, and manage delicate national issues is unrivaled. Resilient, There are countless examples of situations where John Mahama stood his ground on unpopular but necessary policies for the sake of the future of the country. He's tough beyond measure and has stood the test of time, and yet ready for more. Communicator. Mahama's eloquence and communication skills transcend the upper class of society. His message also sinks deep among the grassroots as well as the rural folk of our dear nation. Unifier. John Mahama is an all-round team player and a group builder. The makeup of his ministerial and public office appointments cuts across ethnic, cultural, social, ideological, and even political divides. Gender equalizer. Mahama's first term saw one of the closest bridges in the gender equality gap. He's a strong believer in competence over gender and a supporter of women in high office and public positions. Religious. Mahama is a Christian by faith and a member of the Rainbow Assemblies of God Church and associated with the Men's Fellowship Wing. He's committed to God's Word and teaches it among his peers and fellowship members. Success-driven. One of John Mahama's major traits is his determination to see a project through. He's meticulous by nature and pays extra attention to detail. Legacy. A chunk of Mahama's achievements are literally visible for all to see and can be identified in all major sectors. Housing, health, education, power, transport, among many others. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing John Dramani Mahama.
Thank you very much. That was a very powerful and moving song, and it inspires me to do God's work and rescue this nation. Members of the Council of Elders of our great party, the National Chairman, General Secretary, and all members of the National Executive Committee, the Honorable Minority Leader, our former Speaker of Parliament, our great regional chairman, all assembled here, Chairman of our National Campaign Committee, my friend and brother Joshua Labi, who is responsible for a lot of the wonderful work you see on this campus. Well done. And most of all, my capable and elegant Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, all our party supporters across the length and breadth of our country watching this program, and indeed all our citizens and compatriots who are in your homes or wherever you are watching us. I say good evening and may God richly bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for making time to join us from all over our beautiful country and across the world. Today, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, is taking the country Ghana on yet another positive and progressive journey. 2 weeks ago, in compliance with the constitution of the NDC, I announced to the Council of Elders and the National Executive Committee my choice of Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as running mate for the December 2020 presidential elections. I wish to thank our founder, President Jerry John Rawlings, his Deputy Chair of the Council of Elders, Alhaji Mahama, and indeed all members of the Council of Elders, and also the National Executive Committee for the unanimous endorsement they gave to my choice. With Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, I can say confidently that we have made the best choice for Ghana. I have, partnering with me by the grace of God, a vice presidential aspirant who complements and will ensure that we present to the people of Ghana a winning ticket, and very experienced ticket, and indeed a most competent ticket. Today's momentous occasion is not only for our great party, the NDC, it is also for every single Ghanaian who cares about Ghana and is interested in seeing our nation reach the optimal level of progress, shared opportunities, and prosperity that we are capable of attaining. Professor Opoku-Agyeman is the first female to be selected by one of the two major political parties that have won all elections in our country since the advent of the Fourth Republic in 1992. Indeed, the NDC remains the most successful political party in the history of Ghana. We have won 4 out of the 7 presidential elections since the advent of the Fourth Republic. With the support of the Ghanaian people and by the grace of God, we will win our 5th election in December 2020. To bring development to all our citizens in every corner of Ghana and to advance social justice. The choice of Professor Opoku-Agyeman is over and above affirmative action because she is more than qualified to serve as Vice President of this country. She's a woman who has contributed to shattering the many glass ceilings that have held women down for generations by becoming the first female to lead and manage a public university in Ghana. As I described her in my statement following the announcement I made, she is God-fearing, a distinguished scholar, a conscientious public servant, and a role model. The NDC has a lot to show when it comes to putting women at the forefront of leadership. Women constitute about 50% of Ghana's population, and women form the majority of Ghana's workforce. They must lead in order to advance our nation's progress. And we've been vindicated at every turn by the sterling output of these female high flyers. It was the NDC that presented Ghana's first female Speaker of Parliament, the first female Foreign Minister, the first female Attorney General, the first female Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the first female Chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, and the first female Chairperson of the Council of State, and indeed many others. There are a host of other key positions where our women have distinguished themselves and elevated the name and image of Ghana by their first-rate performance. Unlike the MPP, we in the NDC recognize and appreciate the knowledge, industry, passion, creativity, and problem-solving skills of our women. With Professor Opoku Agyeman, the NDC has once again stayed our true course and advanced a step further in our established philosophy of inclusivity by boldly presenting one of our best in intellect and character as our party's running mate. Together with Nana Jane, we will work with you, each and every Ghanaian, to place our country back on the track of progress and opportunities for all and shared prosperity. This we will build on the foundation of social justice, self-belief, unity, integrity, transparency, and accountability. Working together with Nana Jane, a brilliant and accomplished woman, I have no doubt that God's grace will shine on us in the elections of December 2020. I'm convinced that with her zeal for service and her unquestionable integrity, she will greatly impact the developmental focus of our activities as a party and when we come into government. She has already begun her policy briefings sessions as incoming Vice President, ready and willing to work hard for Ghanaians. Nana's impeccable record is endless, and her reach across various sectors is overwhelmingly impressive. For example, I was glad when one of her sterling contributions to academia and healthcare as my Minister for Education was announced to have sequenced the genome of the virus which causes coronavirus disease. And I'm referring to the establishment of the West African Center for Cell Biology of Infectious Pathogens. Many people do not know that she led the creation of that institution. Leading the transformation of our educational sector as our Minister for Education, my running mate supervised the achievement of many feats that make me proud to be working with her. She converted polytechnics into fully fledged technical universities, and she supervised the upgrading of the colleges of education into tertiary institutions and led the negotiations that secured the World Bank funding for the flagship Secondary Education Improvement Program, SAPE, that says that saw the major upgrading of facilities in senior high schools and the construction of 23 community-day senior high schools. For most of you who remember that facility, it had to do, you remember in Parliament, it was called the, was it Tampax facility or Pampas facility, because it involved giving women what they needed for their monthly, giving the student girls what they needed for their monthly something. And our colleagues on the other side didn't understand it, but it was a very good intervention. Furthermore, facilities in 50 less endowed senior high schools and 75 underperforming senior high schools were upgraded under this facility. Working with the educational unions and other educational authorities, teacher absenteeism was reduced during her tenure from 27% to 7%. Nana also improved the quality of basic education, which resulted in Ghana's all-time best BECE performance. She introduced the private BECE and recruited 2,400 mathematics and science teachers as a special intervention to improve teaching and learning of mathematics and science at the senior secondary school level. She also achieved Ghana's overall best performing West African Secondary School Certificate Examination National Award by WAEC for 4 consecutive years when she was Minister of Education. During the period of her tenure at the Ministry of Education, she engaged more than 40,000 newly recruited teachers. 40,000 newly recruited teachers during the 4 years she served as Minister of Education. You can check the Ministry of Education website, and it is there. As you will all recall, we abolished the quota system at the colleges of education, leading to an increase in enrollment from just 9,000 students to 15,400 students, and created more teaching opportunities for our youth. It was under Professor Opoku-Agyeman that teachers were automatically posted without national service and licensure examinations. My brothers and sisters, having worked closely with Nana, what I salute about her, and the world acknowledges and equally celebrates as true, is the fact that she's an achiever of unquestionable integrity. She's a resourceful and results-driven leader. It is regrettable that following my announcement of her as my running mate, several key leaders of the MPP administration and party launched a barrage of misogynistic attacks at her, just on the basis of her gender. These attacks are unacceptable and most unfortunate, and this is not what the severely distressed people of Ghana deserve at this time. We surely can do better. Our politics has evolved into one of insults, intimidation, and unfortunately, in many cases, has become increasingly violent. This is anathema to the sustainability of the health and wealth of our republic, fought for, and won through the blood and toil of our forefathers. As servant leaders, we pledge to abide by the ethics of a clean campaign, devoid of insults. We shall present our message to the people of Ghana in a clear and succinct manner. We also pledge that our promises will be a sacred social contract that will be honored and not betrayed. This pledge is to all, including our compatriots who have lost interest, faith, and hope in our politics. We will change the face of our politics so that no one will be considered less Ghanaian or more Ghanaian than the other. On the basis of our ownership of a political party card. Let's face it, there are many Ghanaians who do not belong to the NPP, the NDC, or any known political party. They detest the persistent acrimony associated with our politics. They do not possess a party card, and yet, day in and day out, they contribute significantly to building our country. Today, we're witnessing a course of action never seen in our country. And so my message to them is there is hope for us. Indeed, the selection of Professor Opoku-Agyeman as our running mate is a demonstration of the many bold and progressive changes the next NDC administration that I will lead, inshallah, will embark upon. The involvement of women in the decision-making process will not end at the level of the vice presidency. We will work again towards the attainment of a minimum of 30% of all appointments going to women. We have an opportunity in this election as Ghanaians to fully give meaning to gender equality and also to have a highly educated and disciplined woman placed in a critical position to influence policy and shape our nation's destiny. We will implement a set of robust health policies and plans aimed at aggressively tackling and reducing maternal mortality by half from the current 319 per 100,000 live births. We shall ensure female social economic improvement. We shall enact the spousal rights law, establish exclusive and secured shelters for abused women and children, and provide opportunities for all. Ladies and gentlemen, as a Social Democratic Party, we seek to harness the best qualities in all our people to transform the destiny of our nation. And in that direction, and as the fulcrum around which our health policy will evolve, we will, before the end of 2021, introduce and begin the implementation of a free primary health care plan. This will make the provision of primary health care to all Ghanaians, young and elderly, free. Our free health care plan will guarantee a healthy people and provide a healthy workforce needed to accelerate our development. My brothers and sisters, the 2020 elections will be a referendum on the 4 years of the Nana Akufo-Addo presidency. 4 years of nepotism, 4 years of corruption, 4 years of stagnation, 4 years of deliberately abandoning of badly needed social and economic infrastructure, 4 years of dehumanization, 4 years of disenfranchising Ghanaians, 4 years of stripping Ghanaians of their citizenship, 4 years of deliberate collapse of indigenous Ghanaian businesses, 4 years of massive job losses, 4 years of economic hardship. This will be a referendum on the term of a president who has no real solutions for Ghana. A president who is hell-bent on doing whatever it takes to stay in power, including against sound advice replacing the very voters' register which brought him into office. My heart goes out to the many who have been affected by this government's unjustifiable collapse of Ghanaian-owned financial institutions. It is heart-wrenching to hear government officials justify the huge amount it is spending to manage the impact of the collapse of Ghanaian financial institutions, which they now put at a whopping 21 billion Ghana cedis. I weep for the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their jobs, the many who have lost their businesses, and the many who have lost their livelihoods as a result of these policies. I pledge on behalf of the NDC that we shall, within 1 year of being in office, pay all funds that have been locked up with the collapsed financial institutions. Within our first year in office, we shall pay to all the beneficiaries all funds locked up in the collapsed financial institutions. It is a promise. We shall not put together any long-term payment plan that will further worsen the living conditions of the victims. As has been introduced in other economies, the next NDC administration will establish a financial services authority that will be responsible for ensuring that consumer financial markets work for consumers and providers and for the economy as a whole. This financial services authority will oversee all financial products and services that are offered to consumers and will effectively and efficiently prevent and stop the challenges that have confronted customers of Men's Gold, DKM, and others. We will restore Ghanaian indigenous investment in the banking and financial sector. And we will do this through a tiered banking structure in order to restore viable credit sources for Ghanaian SMEs. And we will make amends for those whose businesses were collapsed due to political victimization. We will send all contractors with valid contracts who have been sitting at home for 4 years without being paid for legitimate work done for government back to site. And we will make immediate arrangements to pay them their hard-earned monies deliberately withheld by the Nana Addo administration due to politics. Ladies and gentlemen, weak infrastructure does not propel growth and improvement in the quality of the lives of people. And this is precisely why my presidency took aggressive steps to develop and consolidate our healthcare infrastructure, our educational infrastructure, our transport infrastructure, and our digital infrastructure. This is how to build a resilient nation. Without creating and consolidating a developed infrastructure, no nation, and I say, can resist the global shocks that come from time to time. Just imagine for a second how Ghana would have been without the University of Ghana Medical Center. Without the Ghana East District Hospital, as the number of COVID-19 cases keep rising in our country. The speed of building and consolidating our infrastructure has slowed down because the current government is largely ignoring the infrastructural buffers that are needed to build resilience in the face of external shocks. The NDC believes in Ghana's future and will address the issues that affect you, each and every one of us. We'll build a peaceful, secure, and strong economy that provides sustainable jobs through a transformed, industrialized, and digital economy. We'll reinforce the independence of state institutions, such as the Electoral Commission, such as the Auditor General's Department, such as IOCO, and the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Single-source procurement, popularly called sole sourcing, will be the exception rather than the rule. In pursuance of social justice, I'll vigorously push through a constitutional review that creates a fairer and just emolument system and removes the distortions between Article 71 office holders and other public sector employees. We will, as part of an Integrity for Development Action Plan, launch what I call Operation Sting. Operation Sting will be an anti-corruption crusade which under my watch will involve massive, far-reaching and practical government reform. It will be a ruthless system that fights against all corrupt political appointees and public sector workers. It will be a requirement for all who serve in my government to publish their assets declarations and have the same audited by the Auditor General. Of course, the elephantine size of government, consisting of 125 ministers or more, we have been burdened with over these last 4 years, will be reduced drastically. And the savings that we will make from the emoluments of these reduced number of ministers and the privileges that they enjoy will be channeled towards rewarding assembly members to perform the function will be channeled towards paying assembly members to perform the function of collecting accurate birth and death information in their various electoral areas. And I'm sure this will give better meaning that will satisfy our Supreme Court about the value of our birth certificates. My brothers and sisters, tonight is for my running mate and my vice presidential candidate. I'll save the rest for my policy dialogue sessions, which I'll be starting soon, and the launch of our manifesto in August next month, during which we'll discuss and debate the NDC solutions and plans for our country. Our plans will include an aggressive job and entrepreneurial program in the public and private sectors that will deliver a minimum of 250,000 jobs every year. And a total of more than 1 million jobs across the country by the end of my term in office in 2024. We will put Ghanaians back to work to earn a decent living. Congratulations, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, the first female Vice-Chancellor of a public university in Ghana, on your selection and acceptance to be our party's running mate. Together, we have made the best choice for Ghana. Together, we'll work for the women of Ghana, we'll work for the youth of Ghana, we'll work for the people of Ghana. I assure you, you have my fullest and unalloyed support. You have the fullest support of the NDC and the support of millions of Ghanaians, including young people who you have either directly trained in your long career as an educationist of repute, or those who you have inspired by your stellar achievements. We cannot fail them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to the good people of Ghana Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, by the grace of God and the will of the Ghanaian people, the next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you, and God richly bless you. Thank you.
Shall we have a fist up? Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to present to you our Vice Presidential candidate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman.
With a fist up.
Thank you very much, all of you. Nananom, my boss, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, leader of the NDC, and soon to be reinstated as President of the Republic. Thank you for your kind words. I give thanks to God for all the positive things you said. Thank you, Chairman Ofosu Ampofo, and Comrade Esiedun Katia, the one and only General Mosquito. Thank you also. I also recognize the Vice Chair of the Council of Elders, the Leader of the Minority in Parliament, former Speaker of Parliament, colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please consider yourself individually addressed. My brothers and sisters, the past 3 weeks have been interesting and sobering for me. Indeed, it has been a humbling experience. Ebenezer, this is how far you have brought your handmaids. This is how far you have brought Ghana. We thank you for all that is past, and we trust you for all that is to come. I wish to express sincere gratitude to the founder, His Excellency J.J. Rawlings, the Council of Elders, members of the National Executive Committee, the Functional Executive Committee, the entire rank and file of the NDC, and general public for their incredible support and for their many, many words of encouragement, those pronounced publicly and those spoken in private. I'm grateful to all of you. We are all aware that much as many have come before me, you've heard a lot of the names, many have come before me. This is the first time in our history that a major political party has nominated a woman on its ticket to become vice president. I wish to assure the leadership and rank and file of the party that I come to this position with the mindset of a team player. I belong to all of you and will always count on your support and guidance. This is a journey we will take together. Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, your singular decision to select me as your running mate has generated a whole web of responsibilities, a whole web of responses rather, and debates in this country. And I keep saying that I didn't know that my name will create such an atmosphere. But importantly, out of all the debates, the major point for me is the new focal point for girls and women. You have respected women. The women of Ghana will not forget. The youth will remember. Generations to come will commit your decision to memory and make it a reference point. We will partner with our men and youth, as we always have done, and work hard to achieve peace in our land, because that is the best way to respond to this high recognition. Thank you very much. Making history is gratifying, but what really matters is not to be the first through the door. What matters is to hold that door open for those behind us. What matters is to create other avenues for self-actualization for many more. That is the work of the next 4 years. Many are those who are now more energized to vote, thanks to the momentous decision, JM, that you have made. I urge them all to do just that. We plan not to disappoint you. By your advice and your choice, you have turned the struggles of many women who have come before this moment into a probability. We, and I refer to the men, the women, our youth, our children, we all have a chance to finally make real our dreams of serving this country at any level, of removing doubts and proving once again that collectively we are all capable. This is the time we have been waiting for. Alo nyemi mimale. Insa yebo to me aye. Nyame nye yamboafo. Yeah, I know sometimes it gets emotional, for which we will not apologize. because emotions only confirm our humanity. After serious reflection, consultations, prayers, and encouragement of colleagues, of family, of my children, I am very happy to have accepted the nomination to be the running mate or the presidential candidate of the great National Democratic Congress. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is an act of faith which I do not take lightly at all. I do not underrate the huge responsibilities and expectations that come with the call. I heard some of the women. But I call on all of us to translate our excitement and approval into action for the benefit of the good people of our beloved country. I accepted the nomination fundamentally because it is an opportunity to serve my country once again, albeit at a higher level. In God do I continue to trust that I may never be confounded. And I know the Methodists among us know where that line is coming from. I am deeply humbled by the trust of our party and nation, and I'm excited to make a good case to the good people of Ghana as to why the J&J ticket is best poised to confront the daunting challenges of our time and usher Ghana into peace, into recovery, into prosperity. It will be my mission to ensure that the voices and concerns of our children, our youth, our aged, and our persons with disabilities are reflected in critical decisions. Together, all of us, we can strategize to solve long-standing problems of needless and unproductive discrimination and thrive as valued citizens. I want you all of us, in whatever demographic category, to know that I will carry your voices forward. Together we can make this happen. This I pledge to you. I wish that going forward, I could meet you again in the same fashion we did when we started the process of framing our manifesto and listen to your concerns, challenges, and hopes for the future. It would have been my job and my joy, as I've done in the past, to sit with you in the market, in your shop, on the farms, at the beaches, by the roadside, and in the institutions, to think and plan together, argue, and even laugh at each other. But these are not normal times. COVID-19 is real, no doubt. There is no doubt about it that it is real. However, we will together find safer ways to meet and talk and plan and strategize for the good of our country. We will collectively work out the way forward so that we own our agenda. We must own our agenda in this country. Men and women together have accomplished fantastic things in our history. But I'm also acknowledged that today I stand on the shoulders of many giants who came before me. Throughout our history, women have always played pivotal roles in the advancement of what today has become our country. When duty called, our women too responded. We all have in mind great heroines who, by their actions, shattered the concept that women alone must be restricted by ceilings and limitations. I salute those many women who have made such great contributions to the advancement of our country. And just as importantly, I pay homage to those many, many unknown women, the silent and invisible and unacknowledged women and men who also played and continue to play critical roles in building what we now call Ghana. Now, do allow me to tell you a little bit about myself, very briefly. I'm Nana Jane. I think that's news. I was born in Cape Coast, a town with rich and intriguing connections to the Ghanaian story. My parents come from the holy city of Komenda. Remember the Komenda Sugar Factory? They are called KOFI Nyame in Abata. I won't tell you their Christian names. And these two people have blessed the earth and are blessed of God and man forever. I wish them peaceful rest. One of my beloved mothers, biological mother of my oldest sibling, who became a great friend, comes from Alavanyo, but she spent a great deal of her life in Pando. Mama Rose, Hedenye. Growing up as a little girl, I didn't dream of standing in this position, not that I knew that it even existed. However, what I knew and what I believed, along with my siblings, was that if I studied and focused enough, and especially if my actions benefited others before they benefited me, there was nothing impossible to achieve in our beloved country. I still believe these values, that other people matter too. My parents believed, and they demonstrated in our lives, that good quality education and hard work would open for me a world of possibilities. My parents' conviction made us all believe in our own ability to pursue any goal, and also believe in the rewards of grit and determination. Becoming the first female vice-chancellor in Ghana was for me the most tangible testament to this fact. And here, let me once again congratulate Professor Richard Dixon, recently appointed Vice-Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And as well, to extend congratulations to Dr. Koyo Enim Wright, who becomes the first female registrar of UPSA, where this event is taking place. This country called Ghana has given me the opportunity to live out that promise and to aspire to the limits of my own potential. It has continuously rewarded a life of hard work and offered me the privilege to give back through service. It is precisely because of where my story began that I know what is possible in this country and what the individual can achieve. These are the same lessons I passed on to my students and, of course, to my children and nephews and so on. And especially, I hope to pass on to my two adorable grandsons the joys of my life. But it is also because of where my story began that I know it takes more than just grades and good work ethic. I had good opportunities also. That made a difference in my life because my origins and upbringing are not unique. Villages and towns across our country are full of stories like mine. They are full of parents making untold sacrifices for the sake of their children and to ensure their futures. They are full of market women, fishermen, and farmers toiling in the sun to feed their children on their backs and those they have left behind at home. The stories are full of young mothers and fathers who are balancing family life work obligations, and entrepreneurial ambitions, the young mother and yes, the young father who often has to manage family life, employment, and other commitments seamlessly. We are a people who jump over many hurdles. This too shall pass. Walking that road is an act of courage. That experience is a forge of character. Villages and towns in our country are full of brilliant young people with great ambitions and boundless energy. They are full of young people who rightly aspire to bring their own children into a better Ghana than their parents did. We must facilitate that. Throughout the years, I have been blessed to meet and interact with numerous Ghanaians in every region of our country whose experiences echo mine. I have taught and mentored thousands of youth from all walks of life over the course of my career. And I have always been inspired by their passion, by their determination, by their positivity, and by their desire to succeed. But without good, meaningful opportunities, all of that toil and resilience and determination sum up to nothing but frustration, and all that youthful energy amounts to yet more wasted potential. We must harvest that. Far too often in this country, this is how the story ends. And so, clearing the hurdles in their path, giving them a hand up and not just a handout, offering them plans and not just promises, these must be the immediate priorities of our national agenda. In today's turbulent political economic climate, I propose that there are 4 crucial factors to consider in tackling issues relating to youth and gender. First, we must be mindful of the fact that 60% of our population will be under the age 30 in a few years ahead of us. This is why it is so important and critical that we systematically reform all our institutions and all our systems to effectively address the aspirations of our youth in this country. Second, we need meaningful, quality, and comprehensive education that goes beyond access and numbers and responds to the future we can actualize. Third, we must leverage on vocational and technical training to equip many into fulfilling and creative and meaningful work. Such will advance our development. Fourth, we must provide opportunities that transcend political patronage. Connection, the practice of whom you know. We need equal opportunity and fair opportunities based on merit. And these are imperative for sustainable economic growth. The time for that shift is now. Truth be told, despite all our challenges, Ghana remains a special place where any dream should be possible, where every aspiration matters, where everyone, be it a little boy from Boli or a little girl from Komenda, can and should aspire to be anything they want to be, even president, even vice president. And this is why we love our country so much. We must continue to make this country a place we cherish and are proud to belong to, a place of opportunities. In the past, and more so recently, I have had extensive discussions with His Excellency John Mahama about issues confronting our country and his vision for the coming years. These have been broad, passionate, and engaging. In John Mahama, and you have to work closely to get to know other aspects of him, you'll find a person who is thoughtful, visionary, makes no claim to perfection, and admits his mistakes and missteps, and valuable lessons learned from them. Surely, our society is better served with such down-to-earth, considerate, and reflective leadership. We have chosen the path of peace, inclusiveness, self-reliance, leading to belief in ourselves to solve our problems. It is an important avenue through which to turn our current circumstances into opportunities that yield great dividends for us all. And us, in this context, should and must include generations unborn. It is our business to think about them also. Their lives also matter. It is clear that with the right direction and resolve, with all of us being part of the forward march, our country is destined for greatness. We can and must right the course of our country. We all admit that we can put our country on a firmer, more sustainable path, a path of peace, in order to move forth in ways that are meaningful and clear. At this time, I say to the SHS students who are writing the exams, let me assure you that I have children your age in the same situation too, if not biological. Therefore, I understand the difficult situation you are going through, and especially the anxiety that you have as some of your colleagues and staff got infected by the COVID-19. There are also, sadly, reports of deaths of students and other staff. The partisan nature of our politics today makes it difficult for even to ask a simple question about the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic without triggering a whole political brawl. This is not helpful. All the same, my condolences to the family. Believe us, many of us share in your loss. I ask us all to be very disciplined about following the WHO guidelines and government directives by taking good care of ourselves. And some of us may understand these protocols a little better. Let us share that knowledge. Let us save lives, no matter whose life is saved. Countrymen and women, all we are doing right now is what has been and has always been a very simple exercise of registration. What is not so simple this time is that the exercise is taking place in a time of a dreadful pandemic that is still evolving, and in our case, still rising. As if all of this is not bad enough, the level of violence, brute force, bloodletting, and sheer breakdown of law and order in an otherwise straightforward act of registering to vote is unbecoming of our country, especially of a country that until recently was hailed as the fulcrum of democracy in our region. How did we descend into this situation? The answer is simple. When there appears to be selective justice, when some offenders are not even placed on the hook, but are hailed and promoted and excused for being nasty and violent, the logical outcome is what we see. This situation of people dying, being harassed because they have decided to register to vote, it's not a story you can tell any child in the future. How will you begin that story? And when that child asks you their favorite question, why? What will we say? And if they add a few questions and they ask, so what did you do? Or what did you say? What will be our response? We need to show up and vote come December 7th. Each one of us must jealously guard our sacred right to vote and reject the attempts by some to disenfranchise some. We are all Ghanaians and we love this country deeply and we make contributions to the running of our country. Do not let anyone make you feel otherwise. The choice we have in this election is very clear. We can either build a Ghana where every citizen, regardless of background, is afforded equal opportunity to become their best selves, or we can continue on a path where a few people attempt to control and dictate the destiny of the people who have given them the privilege to govern in the first place. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let our policies deviate from this unproductive path of injustice and non-peace. We, the people of Ghana, all of us, are the protectors and owners of this country for our collective good and for that of generations unborn. You know, what makes Ghana so special is that despite our various ethnic groups, religions, diverse backgrounds, we all come together as one people under one flag, inspired by the sacrifices of our ancestors to create a great country. And everyone's ancestor has been a worthy contributor to the space we now call Ghana. This country now called Ghana, whose artificial borders, sadly, we seek to make even more artificial, as if our continent has not suffered enough from the initial assault. Everyone matters. We have come too far as a nation to still cling to our primordial tribal bigotries. This must stop. Diversity is a source of great strength, whether you are Ga, Infante, Sisali, Ewe, whether you are Gonja, Asante, Zima, or whatever, or Mampusi, or any other ethnic group. You are valued as a Ghanaian. You have every right to walk with confidence, with a high resolve to make huge contributions to this country. Let nobody, let no one question your identity or your patriotism. It is time to put all these needless, unproductive, and downright backward distractions behind us and get on with the serious business of nation building. The time is now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century is nearly 20% over. We shouldn't be here as a country living with inexcusable insanitary conditions, with our babies still dying of malaria, our women delivering on the bare floor, our youth bewildered and unable to see their way ahead, parents confused about the future of their children and the quality of education they are getting. If we choose to be anywhere as a country, the destination should not include a place where a 90-year-old woman is stoned to death because somebody has decided that she's a witch. What is that? I call on our security agencies to convince us that she has not died in vain. As indicated, the 21st century is nearly 20% of the time gone, and we shouldn't be here. The very foundations of our democracy so threatened by unimaginable levels of arrogance, of intolerance, of violence, of human beings playing God, our economy struggling, our tongues tied to the roof of our mouths, our citizens feeling unsafe, our farmers unsure, of when to plant crops due to climate change. We shouldn't be here in the 21st century, our youth perishing on their way to find better lives away from home. Our institutions to which we should run for succor rapidly losing credibility. We shouldn't be here when children who should be in school are becoming unwitting brides. When we all know that marriage is not a child's business. At a time of a growing number of cases and deaths arising from the pandemic, with their attendant fears and uncertainties,
and know your history. We just celebrated the year of return. And you notice that our history has not been very nice, calm, or chilled soon. Yes, we are in a difficult place. And this place will only pass with our collective determination, plain, honest, hard work, and willingness to put in practice those values of integrity, of meritocracy, and of inclusiveness. Let's reignite the Ghanaian spirit of caring, of sharing, of kind hospitality, and sincerity. We know we can. All minds lend, God our helper. I wish our Muslim brothers and sisters that as our leader John Mahama has consistently done in the past, going forward, discrimination directed at you, and indeed no Ghanaian should feel alienated due to religion or ethnicity. This coming Thursday is a great day of Arafah, and the Prophet Muhammad,
may he rest in peace, admonished you to fast. In this moment, please pray for us. Especially pray for the peace of this country and pray for Allah's bountiful blessings. I wish you all Eid Mubarak in advance. To all the little girls and boys across our country, always dream big. Remain focused. You can grow to become anything you want to be. Believe that only you can stop yourself. Going forward, it is not going to be about your parents, rich or poor, not the region you come from, whether it is endowed with resources or not. It is going to be about a system that works, a functioning country that respects all its citizens and provides opportunity to everybody, no matter what. The time is ripe for change. That time is now. To my sisters and daughters, we are in this together.
Yet it remains fragile. Its duty against any obstacles and machinations. I urge us all to show up and participate in the last phases of the registration exercise, even while to observe all the health protocols. Please look out for each other. Politely remind people to wear their face mask correctly. Offer your hand sanitizer to somebody in need. If you see a disabled person or an elderly person or a pregnant woman, offer help. For that is the Ghanaian spirit. I extend a hand to everybody, no matter how disappointed you have become, no matter the depth of your frustration, your anger, no matter the depth of your despair.
Come, let us chart a path for our country built on the values of trust, of responsible citizenship, of putting others first, and of speaking polite language. Come, let us link our efforts and thoughts to rebuild our institutions. Let's build a truly independent, inclusive nation that is not afraid to respect the views of others, a country confident enough to accept other ways of seeing, of respecting everyone, no matter the person. I'm calling on our men, women, our youth, our children, that we should team up and build the Ghana we can have, which must belong to all of us, and which must pay special working and workable attention to the vulnerable. We must bring back the proverbial Ghanaian hospitality that seems locked down, if not quarantined. We must ease restrictions on the Ghana we know, that respects, that tolerates, that liberates. The time is now. As a country, Ghana has been poised for flight for too long. Ghana must be in full flight. We should be in full flight towards sustainable development, to a destination of peace, inclusion, self-confidence, plain honesty, where good old hard work matters. I call on all our countrymen and women who believe that our country can once again travel the path of hope to come join us. The time to do that is now. Forth in the name of our country we go. We will not be intimidated. Our resolve to serve this country remains strong. And as my nephew says, no shaking. And sometimes he adds, no bagawaya. We will stay the course. Sorry. We will not be distracted. We shall remain focused.
We will raise high the flag of Ghana. The time to do so is now, and inshallah, we will succeed. May God bless you all. May God bless you, JM, for this decision that has generated so much. May God bless our determination to serve our country. May God bless the NDC. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you for your kind attention. Good night.
Please, Ghana flags, Ghana flags, Ghana flags, Ghana flags. Let me see you wave your Ghana flags, your Ghana flags. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a better round of applause for the soon-to-be Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman. Thank you very much indeed. It is JM and Jane on a mission to rescue Ghana, and all are invited to come on board. You may please have your seats. This is the kind of speech when you listen to, you don't want any more added. You just want to chew on it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Please, another round of applause for Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman. Let me at this point once again acknowledge all our 16 regions across the country who are joining us via Zoom. You heard from you saw on the screen from the Greater Accra region, from the Eastern region, from the Central region, the Western region, the Western North region, the Ashanti region, the Afo region, the Bono region, and the Bono East, Savannah, Northern region, Northeast region, the Upper East region, the Upper West region, Oti, and the Volta region, and the Ashanti region, all joining us via Zoom at our party offices in the various regions across the country. We are grateful that you could all make time to join us across the country. And once again, our apologies to the teaming supporters and members for our inability due to COVID-19 restrictions to open this up for many of you who would have loved to be here to join us. Here, in representing all of us though, a number of people that I will acknowledge. Alhaji Idrisu Mahama is the Vice Chairman of our Council of Elders, and we are grateful that you are here, sir. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for Alhaji Idrisu Mahama. We also have Ambassador Victor Gbeho, who is a member of the Council of Elders here with us. We are grateful to have you here, sir. We have Dr. Kubaji, who is also here. Thank you very much, sir. And we have Her Excellency Ambassador Anna Enin also with us. Thank you very much for being here with us. The minority leader, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, is also here representing our minority caucus in Parliament. Right Honorable Do Ajaho is a former Speaker of Parliament and a former Member of Parliament also here with us. Thank you, sir, for coming. We have Mr. Prosper Bani, who is a former Chief of Staff, also here with us. Thank you so much. We have Mr. Julius Deborah, who is a former Chief of Staff as well, and Professor Joshua Alabi, who is a campaign manager of the 2020 campaign, leading together with JM and Jane to rescue this nation. We have Honorable Kofi Ato, who is a National Vice Chairman. We also have Ms. Sherry Aite, who is also a Vice Chairman here with us. Thank you, Madam, for coming, always looking elegant. We also have the Chief Sofo Azoka, who is our Vice Chairman, also here with us. Alhaji Said Sinari, Ambassador Said Sinari is also here. He's also the Vice Chairman of the Great National Democratic Congress. We have chiefs from the Central Region also fully represented here, and Ni Kinka Douna the Sif, who is the Osumanche, and the President of the Greater Accra House of Chiefs, also representing a number of our traditional authorities here. We are grateful for your presence here, Nananum. Thank you very much for coming. We have also all our 16 regional chairmen here fully represented. And I can see straight that my regional chairman is right here with us. We also have Dr. Kwesi Boche, who is right here with us. Thank you very much for your presence, sir. Thank you for coming to grace the occasion. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure, like I indicated, to go and reflect on what we have heard, especially from the flag bearer and the running mate, on how together we can rescue this nation and bring it back onto the road of progress. I therefore will wish to invite the minority leader in Parliament, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, to give us a vote of thanks before we take the benediction.
Excellency John Dramani Mahama, National Chairman and General Secretary of our great party, running mate of the winning ticket for the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Mr. Speaker, as he then was, this is a bow for you. The Chairman of National Campaign Team, my task is a very simple one, is to offer the vote of thanks. After that incredibly inspiring acceptance speech from the professor, I only can thank Almighty Allah for His grace and presence. And for this day, Allah, we thank you. And Allah, we pray you bless this ticket and let us, at the dawn of 8th December, rejoice in the President and Vice President of our Republic, John and Jane. To the representatives led by Alhaji Mahama Idrisu of our Council of Elders, former President Rawlings, Captain Kojo Chikata, Mrs. Anna Enin, and all those old men, your seeds have grown. Thank you for making this event honorable. To the National Chairman and General Secretary, you are at the forefront of our battle with the campaign manager and the coordinators. Allah should give you the strength and the wisdom to see John and Jane through. Those sometimes who don't understand English, they say we have addressed him as president, as if there is duality of presidency in Ghana. So president as he then was, until January the 7th, 2017, was a president. Religious decision of a John and Jane, accept it or not, it will remain your life remarkable and enduring contribution to affirmative action in Ghana and to have the place of Ghanaian women and the Ghanaian girl in the public discourse of our country. You could not have taken a better decision. And as Professor Nana herself captured it, if you want an inclusive and reflective government, John and Jane. If you want a compassionate and judgmental government, John and Jane. If the time is now, and Ghana does not belong here, to quote the professor, we shouldn't be here. I'm ready for the flight. I'm ready for the acceptance. We thank President John Dramani Mahama and John and Jane, the good old professor, for honoring and accepting the invitation. And to my colleagues in Parliament, thank you for holding the fort. At least permit me even today to recognize those who led our economic team today. John Jinapor, the Honorable Adon, Fifi Kweti, and Honorable Kudu stood up to the government when we began the media review of the budget today. The rest will take their turn tomorrow, stand the MPP intimidation on the mismanagement of the economy and expose their maladministration. And finally, to you all who have honored this invitation, and particularly for those who are not here, no thanks to corporates. Thanks for your understanding. And to Excellency John Dramani Mahama again, this single courageous decision, you are only challenging the Ghanaian people to live up to the creed that men and women were created to. I thank you.
Nana Santa Bogapros or Siadia Yoka from lower prices the first. Chief of Fufu. If you say me home appliances, no boy for any auto home use. Kafam. How no your promotion? If you say your titi home appliances. Angaza.
Oh my king. I came all the way from Togo just to buy here. Their prices are so good. Produits très exceptionnels. Et tellement que j'adore ça.
Even in French, something is happening at Kafam. If you say you're winning fastest growing Samsung sales partner, Ghana. And I face so 2019, you will need Samsung strategic partner. It was South Korea. Kafam lower prices no. I told me Shazam cool. Nothing, no snake. No snake, no. My fantasy.
Call Capfarm today on 0500 000 105.
Your friend me.
Wow! This boy is great. Nasha one sway. Ahun keka surun kubia. ye made diagro, Brain syrup, any anujie no. Brain syrup, won me an Robbie to say, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins ahodopi, and the glutamic acid, a woman of fra adwinimudo, ne sama wapomudane. Brain syrup, ubenya bi wo drugstore e ben wo mu. Ne dodromu de, Frejucard Pharmacy, e won cry, o Kaishi Drug Lane, e wo 0244 560 296. Brain syrup. E mamofra adwini mapomuden SCP.
Grinding or climbing and the energy's low, rolling, moving and grooving and the things go slow. Whether chilling with your lover or on fire for dough, if you need a break, holla, bite, smile and flow. Mahama Royal Chocolate is the way to go. From 100% premium Ghana cocoa. For work, friends, family, oh that's for sure. Mahama Royal Chocolate, hey, give me some more.
Delicious.
Incredible edible happiness. Cocoa Ashenim. It's your Mama Royal Chocolate, dear. It must be the world's richest real chocolate made from 100% premium Ghana cocoa. For bulk purchase, ring 0501 322 584. That's 0501 322 584. For the family and friends and workmates too. Mama Royal, Awonka
Delicious.
Yes, I agree. Ubedia dansi ya na obejia tumu say computer addition and na technology and a trend is say. It is a wunni mu ana se wunye adwuma wo mu a aya na hwe ya wadwuma hwehwe aye den kakra. Enti me kanfo technology school e beboa wo. Am watimi asua ate ase asade anya adwuma. Technology school ni din dey say and one is Slam Technologies. Omo Manassas, Virginia, USA. But since almost our office were Accra, Ghana. So we pay computer school, teachers no wa butcher, no bet me at Shewa and one Islam Technologies. US near brochure, the number bet me reaching here 571-379-8933. Number near 571-379-8933. Ghana, so the other number near 054-687-5600. Number near 054-687-5600. So we fresh our number here. Now we when you be on watch it, but so home website so www.slammllc.com. So just Islam the best is some
Hello, welcome to Yonak Digital. Here, we deal in security locks, smart locks, intelligent locks, which are ideal for corporate institutions, for banks, real estate, forex bureau, and many more.
Here at Yonak, we have a variety of locks. This is our facial recognition lock, biometric lock. This is our little biometric lock. It's ideal for front aluminum glass doors.
You can locate Yonak Digital at Wager, SCC Junction off the DVLA road.
Call us on 0553-892370 or WhatsApp us on 0507-242299.
Yonak Digital.
ANS Trading Agency Limited. Yajma ya pa door-to-door courier service. I different London or him Chrome and I say Europe babia or better or shape on Yamade Bagana. No. Yajma ya say bio. I saw better left-hand drive vehicles. A car to create a truck timber. I person different Europe, a Bagana. And I say open so by 20-foot container and 40-foot container duty. You didn't want to temper. It doesn't matter. Baby I wish you put container free. So the free China. And I say Europe for now America, baby I person best to Piano. You bet my amount. Duty there, we are one of the best ever the whole Ghana. So per se unyai and now what you will be visit www.anstar24.com. We are the best.
Oh,
adofo mechiamo. It is saying me did the mama sewa na me wasem de be catcher. What a tap sending ka. Debbie. What's it say? Nana was a hen. My main can't share way. Tap send app I'll bet me out share phone so. Now baby I will Europe would me send this kako Ghana e come our door for and 10 na. Now so more mujisika no so more MTN so Vodafone Tigo ana se Airtel so a omo benya sika ne 10 na. Na de wo mu kra ne se fees bia anka ho. Untuye fees bia and exchange rate no so was so kama. Me chose kakaka ho. Sa code we say a very special code. So yena say what download a good phone so we are. For sa code we to me chow £5 and answer €5. What dear fa free ponto obeko app store no. No wa hwehwe tap send. Charlie, me say menye ja ho. Me say tapo na send. Ago adofo me chiamo. It is saying me did the mama sewa na me wasem de be catcher. What a tap sending ka? Debbie. What's it say? Nana was a hen.
Claire.